Eastern Mennonite University, Harrisonburg, a place where my heart was shattered into a million pieces. I still remember the day I stepped onto that campus, full of hope and dreams. But what I got in return was a nightmare that I'm still trying to wake up from. As I walked through those halls, I felt like an outcast. The students were not at all friendly, and I was made to feel like I didn't belong. It was like they were trying to suffocate me with their cold stares and half-hearted smiles. I was a stranger in a strange land, and nobody bothered to show me the way. Each day I felt more and more uneasy, like a bird trapped in a gilded cage. I tried to reach out to make connections to find my tribe, but every door I knocked on was met with indifference. The professors, they were more interested in their own research than in teaching us, their students. It was like we were mere pawns in their game of academic chess. And the food, oh dear heaven, the food was an abomination. It was like they took all the leftovers from the previous semester and reheated them into a flavorless mush. I'd rather eat cardboard than their cuisine. The dining hall was a sad, sad place, where hunger and disappointment mingled in the air like a toxic cloud. The facilities, oh boy, they were a joke. Outdated, cramped and poorly maintained, they seemed to scream, "We don't care about your comfort." The dorms were tiny, with creaky beds and thin walls that let in every sniffle and whisper from the next room. It was like living in a fishbowl, with everyone's eyes on you, judging your every move. And don't even get me started on the administration. They were like a bunch of tone-deaf bureaucrats, more interested in covering their own backsides than in listening to our concerns. I tried to reach out to ask for help, but my cries fell on deaf ears. It was like I was invisible, a ghost haunting the halls of Emu. The community aspect, oh please, it was a farce. They touted it as a loving, supportive environment, but in reality, it was a cult-like atmosphere where everyone was expected to conform. I felt like I was being watched, judged, and found wanting at every turn. The pressure to fit in was suffocating, and I felt like I was losing myself in the process. The tuition, oh my, it was astronomical. I might as well have mortgaged my soul to the devil himself. And for what? So I could attend a university that didn't care about my well-being. It was like they were extracting every last penny from my pocket, leaving me with nothing but debt and disappointment. And Harrisonburg, the town itself, was a desert of entertainment. There was nothing to do, nowhere to go, no way to escape the suffocating grip of Emu. It was like being trapped in a small rural prison with no parole in sight. The strong religious emphasis was intrusive, judgmental, and alienating. I felt like I was being forced to fit into a narrow mold, to conform to their idea of what a good student should be. It was like they were trying to erase my individuality, to make me into a cookie-cutter Christian robot. The mental health resources, oh boy, they were severely lacking. Long wait times, inadequate support, and a general sense of you're on your own permeated the air. It was like they didn't care about our well-being, only about their own reputation. I felt like I was drowning in a sea of despair with nobody to throw me a lifeline. The campus safety was questionable, with poor lighting in several areas. I felt like I was taking my life into my own hands every time I walked across campus at night. The career services, oh please, they were a joke. Minimal help with job placement, and a general attitude of you're on your own after graduation. It was like they were washing their hands of us, leaving us to fend for ourselves in the cruel, cruel world. And the diversity, oh dear, it was a joke. I felt like I was an outsider, a stranger.
I am looking into crimes near Eastern Mennonite University, Harrisonburg. And honestly, it feels like the little shops around campus have turned into tiny traps for tourists, you know. Businesses near Eastern Mennonite University, Harrisonburg are like friendly convenience stores that suddenly become stages for fake payroll check scams. The story went like this: a group of strangers walked into a couple of corner markets on Broadway and Stanley, handed over blank-looking payroll checks, and asked the owners to cash them. The owners, thinking it was a normal transaction, processed the checks and lost thousands when the paper turned out to be counterfeit. After the cash disappeared, the store owners probably called the bank, filed a police report, and spent days trying to recover the money, which most likely never came back. The scammers probably vanished before the investigation caught up, maybe moving on to another town or changing their method entirely. The victims probably felt ashamed and extra cautious, maybe even stopped accepting any paper money from strangers, and the shop's reputation probably took a hit, making tourists think twice before buying anything there. Businesses near Eastern Mennonite University, Harrisonburg are also like cozy coffee shops that turn into credit card skimming hotspots. A popular cafe near the Emu dorms had a hidden device attached to the card reader. Tourists buying a latte would swipe, not knowing their numbers were being stolen. The thieves later used the data to make fraudulent purchases online. The CAF staff probably noticed a spike in chargebacks, reported the incident, and had to replace the whole POS system, which probably cost them a lot and made them nervous about future transactions. The thieves, once traced, might have been arrested or simply disappeared into the larger fraud network. The affected tourists likely checked their bank statements, felt violated, and maybe even cancelled their cards, ruining a few days of their short visit. It's sad how these everyday places near Eastern Mennonite University, Harrisonburg, can hide such deceit, especially for people who are just passing through for a couple of weeks.
First, let's talk about the overall vibe of the businesses that line the streets around Eastern Mennonite University, Harrisonburg. Imagine a town that tries hard to welcome visitors, yet most of the places seem to have forgotten how to treat a guest with basic kindness. The pattern is clear: many of these establishments stumble over the same simple rules of respect, timeliness, and value, and the result feels like a series of missed chances that leave a sour taste in the mouth of anyone who comes by. Take the local shopping centre, the Valley Mall. The whole mall feels like a once busy hub that is now slowly fading. Stores are empty, the food court disappeared years ago, and the few remaining shops keep their doors closed early, leaving shoppers standing in the cold with nothing to do. Parking that used to be easy now comes with a warning for big trucks, and the occasional heated exchange with a security guard makes a simple visit feel like stepping onto a stage for an unwanted drama. In short, the mall projects an atmosphere of neglect, as if the owners are waiting for the lights to go out. Nearby, the Studio Beauty and Wellness carries the same sense of disappointment, only this time it's wrapped in bad hair days and unfriendly chatter. The stylists often seem more interested in gossip than in listening to what a customer actually wants, and many clients leave with cuts that look like they were done by a nervous apprentice. Prices for extensions and colour are sky high, yet the results can fall apart within a few days, turning a hopeful makeover into a regretful repair job. When complaints are voiced, the management appears to disappear, leaving people to wonder whether their concerns will ever be heard. Moving on to the neighbourhood's food scene, Bobo Cafe delivers a menu that promises comfort, but often serves small plates that feel more like a joke. Portion sizes are tiny, prices are large, and the flavour is frequently described as bland or missing entirely. A hidden service fee sneaks onto the bill, while the staff sometimes forgets orders or mixes up bags, creating a comedy of errors that ends with customers hunting down missing items themselves. The overall impression is that the cafe is more focused on cash registers than on cooking good meals. Just a short walk away, Black Sheep Coffee tries to cultivate a cool, indie vibe, yet the experience is usually anything but smooth. Baristas appear distracted, taking long pauses before even starting an order, and the drinks often taste like old coffee rather than fresh brews. Customers have reported being ignored, waiting for half an hour for a simple latte, or being turned away because the kitchen is overwhelmed. In one unsettling incident, a patron with a service dog was denied service and even faced a police call, turning a coffee run into a legal headache. The promise of a relaxed coffee break consistently unravels into frustration. The local spa, Cedar Stone, promises relaxation but frequently delivers chaos. Appointments are missed, therapists arrive late, and when they do show up, the pressure can feel more like a stone hammer than a soothing massage. Some guests have walked out with sore backs, bruised faces, or a feeling that they have been left to wait while staff argue in the front room. The atmosphere that should be soothing instead feels like a waiting room for disappointment. Even the modest cider bar, Sage Bird, joins the chorus of missed expectations. The space is charming, yet the drinks tend to be flat, overly carbonated, or lacking the bold hop character that enthusiasts seek. Patrons leave appreciating the ambience, but wishing the flavours had more personality. All of these places share a common thread: they aim to serve the community surrounding Eastern Mennonite University, yet they often fall short of basic hospitality, value, and reliability.
For the traveller who hopes for a warm welcome, a timely haircut, a satisfying bite, or a relaxing massage, the reality can feel like walking through a fog of missed cues and unfinished promises. So what should a visitor keep in mind when wandering this part of Harrisonburg? Expect that many storefronts may be operating on reduced hours, that service can be slow or indifferent, and that costs sometimes outpace quality. It's wise to call ahead, double-check opening times, and perhaps bring a backup plan, whether that means packing a snack, scheduling hair appointments with a well-reviewed salon elsewhere, or choosing a coffee shop known for consistency. A little extra caution can turn a potentially disappointing outing into a smooth part of the day. In the end, the area around Eastern Mennonite University has the pieces of a vibrant community, but they need a bit more attention, respect, and consistency to truly shine. Until those changes take root, travelers are advised to navigate with a detective's eye, a patient